everyone, and welcome to Unscripted. I am your host, CTwo, and with me today is one of our casters, Philet, TheDarkTemple, and GJ. Now, we have officially made it halfway through the season, and the divisions are looking very tight towards the top, with Division 1 in a 5-way tie for first, Division 2 with 7 teams within 2 games of first place, and 4 teams in Division 3 within 1 game of first. And things are only beginning to heat up. How have you guys enjoyed the season so far? We can start with you, Philet.
I've been having a blast with it, especially with last week's matches, again, casting them. Each week, each team just brings something new to the table that just makes me just start laughing mid-game. And it's bad for me to be laughing because I'm the one casting it, but I just can't help it sometimes.
Yeah, we can see you guys having some fun in the studio while we're in the chat for sure. What about you, DarkTemple? How are you feeling?
Man, it's been a great season so far. I haven't had a chance to watch them live due to work and all that, but watching them back, it's great to see all the teams, giving it their all and just actually properly starting to make Slips feel like a proper competitive league.
Right, and GJ, I know you're having a ton of fun in the Discord trying to get all of our problems solved. Have you been having a good time?
The occasional scramble to get a match or two going for a stream aside. It's been pretty fun this season so far. We're going into the halfway mark, as you said, and also, in regards to what Philet was talking about earlier, shout out to the barbershop.
The Wordle man.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know what to expect from that team, I swear. My favorite part has always been streaming the matches, because they've always been a great time, always fun to watch. Especially the really close matches. I have a fondness for matches that go to Game 5 for a good reason. They're really competitive when they get to that point.
Oh yeah, I've had a lot of fun in the chat, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's get started then. So this week in Div 1, we have New Haven Esports versus American Halftime. Both teams are 4-1, with New Haven defeating Monterey and American Halftime losing to Monterey. And at the same time, American Halftime defeated Vexo and New Haven lost to Vexo, showing how evenly matched this game will be. Now, who do you guys think will take this match? We could start with you, Temple. What do you think?
So I was actually a little bit before this looking at the stats, and I went back in the streams to see if there's anything that I could get out of this, and I've noticed that I think American Halftime has a chance, but I do like New Haven's odds a little bit better, just because New Haven seems to have that little bit more skill, whereas American Halftime has more of a how do I put this, more of a team play aspect.
What about you, Philet? Will you be casting this game, actually?
I'll be casting Saturday. So yeah, I'll be there.
A little bit of an update on that. I know this is an interesting match to talk about, but I have been trying to get it replaced because, as it turns out, New Haven will be unable to play on a Saturday. But if it all works out, we should be seeing Aquatics Esports taking on Vexo in their place. Now, Aquatics is a whole new team in Division 1. They recently jumped into Slips. They've taken the place of a previously non-existent team, I forget the name, and they'll be taking on Vexo. Now, it's a classic case of a complete unknown taking on an existing team. What do you guys think? You think, it's kind of hard to judge because we don't know a thing about Aquatics.
That's true.
I'm gonna have to say that both of these teams are kind of unknown to me. I haven't casted for Vexo,
Yeah.
and like you said, Aquatics is new, so both of these teams are kind of new to me.
To be fair, Vexo did jump in a couple weeks back, so they're kind of new, but they'll be new to the stream right along with Aquatics. So
Yeah, I think I'll put my money on Vexo. I think Vexo's got this. They've been here at least a week or two. They've clearly defeated, who was it, New Haven. So I think they've got it.
We'll see. Now, What's next on the agenda, C2? I'm sure we got plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah, well another game in Division 1 will be Shock Esports versus Monterey Esports. Also, both teams are 4-1 and they both took a loss 2 weeks ago, Shock to Inferno and Monterey to New Haven. And these matchups will begin to separate the top teams of Division 1s. Now guys, with Shock Esports, Monterey Esports, Inferno, New Haven, and American Halftime all tied for first, are there any teams you're looking for to take the number 1 spot or any good matchups you're looking forward to in the future?
I know Fink would very much love for Shock Esports to take first place. I don't think we'd hear the end of it from him. Okay, I'm getting around here, but Fink is definitely a well-known character in Slips. Let's just say that.
I mean, like I said, I'm looking forward to the New Haven versus American Halftime because I think that's going to kind of push my vote, for whether or not American Halftime can stay properly in Div 1 or is going to be kind of one of those teams that just veers on the edge. But I am also looking forward to seeing how Shock does. Hopefully they can spice things up a little bit more.
I'm actually gonna mix things up in this one and say that I'd like to see American Halftime or New Haven, because when we were doing the Monterey versus New Haven match, seeing Monterey and New Haven go one-on-one with each other, they went to Game 5, and, it was impressive that whole match. But New Haven definitely showed their stuff with that one, and I think that either New Haven or even American Halftime could definitely take that number 1 spot.
One of the newer teams jumping into first place in Div 1 would definitely send a message to the rest of the division to step up their game.
Things are getting spicy in Division 1.
Yes.
Now, for Division 2, the streamed match will be DIRTYBIRD Gaming versus X-Ray Gaming. And since losing to Team PSYONIX and Dungeon Crawlers, DIRTYBIRD Gaming has an easier week this week against X-Ray, when they're currently tied for a third team, and management has dove into skill and positioning training, even getting part of the team made it into the official Rocket League 6-mans. Now, also in Division 2, we'll see Hydra A take on RF White, currently tied for second with Team PSYONIX. Hydra A has really pulled themselves together after their first week loss to Dungeon Crawlers, and they have ran through Team Flare B, Team PSYONIX, X-Ray Gaming, and Natural Born Killers and look to continue that streak against RF White. RF White, however, has gone on a tear since defeating the UCA Bears and look to change up the landscape of Div 2 with a victory over Hydra A. Their schedule has been significantly easier than Hydra A, playing only UCA Bears and Avidity. They still look forward to playing Dungeon Crawlers, RF Viper, DIRTYBIRD Gaming, and Team PSYONIX. Now, do you guys have any favorites in this matchup?
First, a quick clarification on what we said earlier. DIRTYBIRD Gaming earned themselves a spot in the official 6-mans.
That is true. Sorry if I was not clear on that, but yeah, that in itself is pretty impressive. It seems as though Miss DIRTYBIRD has been putting in the overtime on that front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I joined in earlier when they were practicing, and she was pretty much hounding her team.
Apparently they have their own pre-game ritual. I forget the details of it.
We're gonna have to get those for us by next week.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, though. RF White and Hydra A, those guys are killing it. From what I've seen from casting it, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, Hydra A has been very entertaining to watch.
Always a treat to see them play. It'll be fun to see DIRTYBIRD and X-Ray Gaming duke it out, because we haven't seen DIRTYBIRD Gaming on stream this season, to my knowledge. And X-Ray Gaming, that's a team I haven't seen play on stream yet, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't recognize that name at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they're a newer team.
Oh,
Yeah, I think this is their second week or first there, GJ, do you know?
Let's see, I believe it's it's either their first or their second week.
Well, I'm excited to see how well they play.
Me too. If all goes well with the replacement for the Div 1 stream match, we're gonna be seeing plenty of new faces in the slip scene. And speaking of matches, I do believe we have some Div 3 action as well.
We do have the one more for Div 2 though, which is the battle for first place with Team Avidity versus Team PSYONIX, with Hydra A being the only team to defeat Team PSYONIX and Avidity currently undefeated. This, however, will be Avidity's second match against top-ranked opponents, still having to go through Hydra A, RF Viper, and DIRTYBIRD Gaming. So these next few weeks will be pretty detrimental to their positioning. So same question as before, with Team Avidity, Team PSYONIX, Hydra A, RF Viper, DIRTYBIRD Gaming, Demon Crawlers, and RF White so close to first. Are there any teams you guys are looking for to take the number one spot?
I already said it. RF White and Hydra A. I like watching both of them play.
But they can't both be first place.
They cannot. You got to make a pick here.
Hey, you asked any good matchups. You didn't ask first place.
What about you, Temple? How are you feeling?
I think it's still a little too early, for calling out a best team in the league so far. But if I had to put my money on anyone, it would also be RF White.
Now, GJ, you're supposed to be unbiased, but we are going to ask you the important question. Who do you think deserves that number one spot?
Given how competitive Div 2 has been, there are plenty of contenders to go around. Like for example, Team Avidity with Snowman and co. I'm kind of sort of remember that Royal roster's history with slips. Let's see. If I'm going to pick one team that I think should earn that first place spot. Oh man, I'm stuck between DIRTYBIRD and Team PSYONIX here. I'm kind of stuck between them. Don't know which one to pick.
All right. We won't make you decide like Philet, but we'll settle on that then. Well, and so now to Div 3. We do have some more great games, starting with the season's most anticipated match, which will be streamed, actually, will be the undefeated BT1 Esports versus Atlantis, who took their first loss last week to RF Black. Atlantis began the harder part of their schedule 2 weeks ago against the Barbershop, making them 1-1 against top-ranked teams, and will still have to push through Overland and Frost Reboot. BT1, having defeated Overland in the second round, has had an easier schedule, but only allowing 5 teams to take 4 games, with Overland being 2 of them. Now, do you guys have any picks for this game? I mean, I'm a little biased on this one, so I'll leave this to you guys.
Yeah, fun fact. CTwo is, if I'm not mistaken, the owner of BT1.
That is true.
Well, I'm picking Atlantis then. No, I'm kidding.
You better use your slips coins when it comes to that game then.
Stock up your channel points for the stream, folks. There's
Going
gonna be
all
prediction
in on
polls.
Atlantis.
Going all or nothing, guys.
I'm honestly not sure. I don't know for sure with BT1 or Atlantis. Like, obviously, BT1 is undefeated, like you said, but like I think I've only seen BT1 play, so I can't say for sure how well Atlantis is going to do.
I'm just going to stay out of.
Sorry, I was going to ask if you've been watching any of the Div 3 games there. I know you're more of a Div 2 guy, but Temple.
I'm most definitely not a Div 2 guy. I'm in Div 2 now, but I'm still stuck in my Div 3 ways. I don't remember how badly you destroyed us last season.
It was a bad season. Luckily, we turned things around at the end of the season, so I think we've started off really well. Hopefully, we do not flop the last half, but we'll see.
Anything can happen.
Anything is possible. So next we have the Barbershop versus Heatwave. Now, Hydra B is struggling in Div 3, being 1-4 this late in the season. It's not really a good look, defeating only Heatwave in their first week. They have had a tough road ahead, and Overland Esports is only the beginning. But first they have to get through a Barbershop squad that is looking to remain in the top half of the standings, and after their domination of Frost Reboot last week, they look to be ready to continue their run at the playoff spot. So, guys, this is pretty much the end of it. Is there anything you want to say before we sign out?
I swear to God, Barbershop, if you play Wordle again, I'm going to smite you.
What? Instead of playing Wordle, they play straight up crossword puzzle.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like,
Scrabble.
they're gonna whip out Balloons Tower Defense or something, dude, I swear.
Specifically, Balloons Tower Defense 6.
Oh, seriously?
And yes, I did play that game a lot for a while.
I've got over 200 hours in it right now.
The classic.
So,
Well, you guys can view these matchups Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard on twitch.tv/Slips League Championship. And for more information into the league, visit slips.io. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you Saturday.